I'm 32.
Okay.
How old are you?
I'm 30.
Okay. So you're no longer attractive.
Oh my God.
Welcome to Reality Check with me, Adaeze. Here we discuss reality shows, movies, trending topics, and topics I find fascinating. And we are finally on Love is Blind. Hey, and it's gonna take over your mind. Love is Blind is one of my favorite reality shows to watch. Even though sometimes I get exhausted trying to talk about it with you guys, but I really like Love is Blind. And this is their 5th year. So they are doing their 5th year anniversary, but this is their 8th season of the US version. Okay, so they have different versions. They have the UK version, which just aired. They have Germany, they have Habibi, which is like Dubai and stuff, you know. Anyway, basically this is their 5th anniversary, and in this season they have 16 guys and 16 girls as opposed to 15 guys and 15 girls. In the beginning they were saying, oh, we have more people to choose from, and I was like, just 16, like just one extra to me is not a significant number. But anyway, so far so good. The season promises to be quite interesting. However, it was such a struggle for me to get through the first 6 episodes, because normally the previous seasons, after episode 3 max, we'll get to the honeymoon, you know, part where they go to a resort or something to do their like a getaway, right? But this one, the whole 6 episodes that aired are all in the pods. I was tired. So if you're like me and you were tired of watching it, let me know in the comment section. If you don't have that kind of time, your girl is here to give you guys all the deets. But if you can, I would suggest that you should please go and watch it. It is showing on Netflix. I would love to discuss it with people who have watched it, because I feel like it is sometimes more interesting when you've watched it and you formed your own opinions, and we can go back and forth in the comment section. However, you know, I'm still your girl, like I said, if you haven't watched it. Okay, so I'm going to start from I'm going to analyze the show couple by couple. I'm not going to do like play by play or scene by scene like I do with other reality shows. For Love is Blind, I always like to go couple by couple, and I always like to start with the most boring couple, which is basically the least problematic couple. Okay, in this case, I don't think they're the most boring couple. They're the least, I think least problematic best describes the couple I'm going to be starting with. Okay, yeah, anyway, so we are starting with Joey and Monica from Friends. Not from Friends, but the guy's name is Joey and the lady's name is Monica. So Joey is 35. He's a physician associate, while Monica is 28. She's into digital marketing. Now, all the ages I'm going to be calling just minus 1 year. So they filmed last year, so she was 27 and he was 34 last year when they filmed. Okay, now when it comes to this couple, they are a match made in heaven. A little bit too perfect, okay, because it's almost like they are each other. They are just mirroring each other, which I don't know. It's good to have a lot in common with your partner, but I'm not sure how well your relationship will thrive if both of you are like almost carbon copies of the same people. Okay, like almost exact, like almost replica. Their personalities are the same, they like the same things, they have the same energy, they are very energetic people. The guy said that his family says he has a very good heart, he's very good natured, and he gives golden retriever energy. He's so energetic, he's so lively, so bubbly, and she is as well. Okay, nothing really stuck out to me negatively when it comes to their relationship. However, the way he proposed to her was weird to me. He said, instead of saying, will you marry me? He said, will you be engaged to me?
Would you get engaged with me?
And then when they met physically, they were immediately attracted to each other. You know, they ran towards each other. They were doing little dances and just very bubbly.
Oh, Monica! I know, it's weird. Oh my God, your hair!
Then he just gave her the ring. He didn't even say, will you marry me? Like, it was just weird.
I have a gift for you.
Oh
I think I put this on your finger, don't I?
I'm just going to see it as he was carried away with excitement and all of that. Monica pointed out that he looks like Tarzan, which I could definitely see, and she was saying, oh, she likes a man bun. He said, okay, she would show him how to do a man bun. Then he was like, can I kiss you? And she was like, do you want to kiss me? They were so giddy. It was just fun to watch, nothing negative stuck out to me, like I said. But if there's anything that stuck out to you guys, let me know in the comment section. Now, the next couple, towards the ending, they had a little bit of drama, but while they were in the pods, they had good energy and they vibed really well. And that is Taylor and Daniel. Taylor is the lady, she's 32, and then Daniel is 30. It just occurred to me that she kind of has a unisex name. So while they were in the pods, they talked a lot about different things, favorite food, insecurities. They're one of those couples that I feel like they try to cover as much ground as possible while they were in the pods, and they had a lot of serious conversations, unlike some other people. This ones felt like they were both locked into each other. They didn't really date much of other people. Same thing with the first couple. They didn't really date much of other people. They were just like locked in almost from the start, and they had really good conversations, and they ended up getting engaged as well. However, after they had gotten engaged, the next scene, or not the next day, but later on, we find out that Taylor, the lady, said that Daniel had followed her on social media some months before and had unfollowed her. Like, she can remember him because that when she first met him, he's a bit shorter than she is anyway, but she didn't really mind his height, but that when she first met him, he looked really familiar, and she wasn't really sure about, while she was getting that vibe, she was thinking, okay, maybe because I've pictured him in my head several times, maybe because of his voice, that's why he looked familiar. So as soon as they got back their phones, she went on Instagram to check him out, only for her to realize that she had seen his profile before. She wasn't really like spot on when it comes to the details of what she could remember, but she could remember him taking a picture in front of a fireplace during Christmas, and she's now questioning everything, because if he had known her before the pods, if he had seen her before, if he had gotten some information about her, like things she put in her bio, then did he try to artificially engineer the whole thing so that he will end up with her, maybe like say the right things, just act like they have so much in common because he already knew her? So that's what was making her question the whole thing, and that was where the episode really ended. We are not sure whether they continued or not. My guess is that they did, but we'll wait and see that in the coming episodes. Now, the next couple, these ones are quite boring, but they are definitely problematic, okay? And that is Ben and Sara. Ben is 28 while Sara is 29. Now, they are quite boring because their conversations in the pods to me was just like nothing special was happening there, aside the fact that the lady is basically a liberal leftist. Her sister is gay, and she believes in all this Black Lives Matter, all those activism kind of things that mostly people on the left try to, rally around and push for. She is all about those things, and she's very woke. Like someone, not just woke in these terms of leftist kind of woke, but she's woke in terms of she wants to know about politics. She's actively involved in, learning about politics and learning about all these things that are happening in their country, right? However, Ben, on the other hand, is a Christian. He is quite conservative in the way he grew up and all of that. However, the guy does not really have a stand on pretty much anything. Now, it's not even about whose side he's on. I mean, I'm a Christian, I'm more conservative, but it's not even about whether he should be conservative or not. My own is that why can't you have a strong stance on anything? Like, I prefer her because at least she has a strong stance on what she believes in. But him, he's like, I don't really mind. You say you're a Christian, you say you go to church every Sunday, but you basically don't mind anything. It's like you're just he said, okay, he's willing to learn. To me, the conversations that they were having was just like, why are you guys trying to force yourself to be together? It seemed like they just had this, it seems like he was trying to compromise a lot just to end up on the show with her, by all means. While her, it seems like she was just like, you know what, let me just try and go with him as well. I don't really see them as a strong couple when it comes to their values, or when it comes to things that they have in common. They don't have any business being together, in my own opinion. But let's just see how it goes. We might be pleasantly surprised. So yeah, despite all her reservations about his answers, because when he was answering, she was like, I'm not, that answer is not it for me. Like, I'm not really okay with that answer. They still go ahead to get engaged. Now we are entering the territory of triangles, okay? Now the first triangle, the least problematic triangle, is between Devin, Brittany, like Brittany, she made sure to emphasize is Brittany, and Virginia, okay? Now, Devin is 29, Brittany is 35, Virginia is 34. And I was just like, dude, you don't see your mate. You did not see your mate. But anyway, Brittany she plays basketball. She's more like the athletic type. She had a lot in common with Devin, right? Virginia is more of the girly girl. She's not really a sports person, even though she used to dance for the NBA. Devin plays basketball. He also coaches Little League. He also owns his own basketball coaching something, basically he's really, really into basketball. And he shared a story with both ladies about how he got hooked on drugs, on medication. He abused medication because he had an injury he just had pain in his legs, and after going to different doctors, he wasn't finding any solution, so he started abusing ibuprofen. He started from taking 2 pills, and then it got to the point where he was taking 20 a day. Like, what the hell? Anyway, so he shared it with both ladies, but he also talked about how he was at the lowest. He had given up on life, but then because of God, like he prayed to God, and he decided to just take one more chance and go to the doctor one more time. And he went to the doctor and got help. He had to have hip surgery in both hips, and he became better. Okay, so right now he can still play basketball, he can still coach and do all the things that he wanted to do. Okay, so basically he talks about his faith. He's a very strong Christian. He holds on to God because God has seen him through the low times in his life. Okay, now he told that story to both ladies. Okay, they both had equal reactions. Like, both ladies were really, really sympathetic towards him. They both cried. They both assured him that it's not a problem. They don't judge him for it. It's something that you have to go through to be able to, like, sometimes you have to go through some things to become who you eventually become. So they were both very receptive, and they both had, to me, I don't think anybody was more emotional. They were both as emotional as can be, and they were both sympathetic towards him. However, Brittany now goes ahead to tell him about how she used to date women and how she never really saw herself getting married to a woman, but she has had experiences with women, basically. And the guy was like, hold up, I know say you don't judge me, but I'ma judge you, okay? Hold up, are you saying that you are no longer into women? She was like, no, she's just with whoever she's with, okay? So basically, she's one of those people that say things like, oh, I am just attracted to people's souls, not the body, just the soul. So whether it is male or female, basically she's bisexual, okay? So whether it is male or female, they don't really care. Once they fall in love with somebody, that is their person. And she says she's monogamous, okay? So it's not like she's doing 2 people at the same time or whatever. She's monogamous, but she can go either way. And the guy was not having it, okay? Even though he tried to play it cool, he tried to act like it wasn't a problem. Even in the lounge, when he was talking about it with his friends, he acted like, oh, it's not really a problem, yeah. But my dear, I could tell that was the beginning of the end. The moment she revealed that thing to him, he was like, nope, 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 nope. I know you didn't judge me for abusing medication, but I'm a judge you, okay? I know fit, my dear sister. I just cannot. Because if you look at the way they were having conversations, she actually vibed more with him during the conversations. Virginia, on the other hand, she was okay, she was cool, but she wasn't opening up as much as Brittany opened up to him, right? She was keeping a lot of things to herself. She was not as open as she could have been. He was basically having to pry some information out of her and basically get her to open up to him, okay? So without that whole bisexual thing, I would have thought that he was going to end up with Brittany. But after he heard that thing, he was like, he took his slippers and dusted it and went for Virginia. He ended up getting engaged to Virginia. Okay. Now, as much as the guy is 29, the guy actually talks very mature. He talks and looks like a 40-year-old. Okay. He has this pastor. I feel like calling him Pastor Devin. He has this pastor vibe. He has this youth pastor vibe. So he went with Virginia, and Virginia too sounds like pastor's wife, basically. To be honest, they actually match, but I feel like that if you were to compare chemistry between, both ladies and him, I feel like he had more chemistry with Brittany. But he said that he's used to dating athletes or athletic women, which would have put Brittany more, above Virginia. But he was like, oh, at least being a dancer is more, it's like being an athlete. That's in Virginia's case. But anyway, long story short, they both meet up. They kind of look like they're related. Maybe not like siblings, maybe like cousins, Now the next triangle, I don't know if I should talk about them last or talk about them. Let me talk about them first, okay? Because we are doing triangles. We've done the double people. Now these are the threesome or the triangles. Then after that, we'll enter the quadruplet or whatever, the quadruples, the square. So for the next triangle is between David, who is 33, Molly, who is 30, and Lauren, who is 31. Now let's get into David first of all. To me, is it just me, or is it that these ladies don't see red flags that we see? Is it that because we are watching them, we are more perceptive to red flags than the ladies who are right there with them in the pods? Because I don't get why anybody is giving him the time of day. Okay, especially Lauren. Now, David is a very, I don't know the words to use and explain. He's very annoying. He's one of those people that makes very crass, to be honest, sexist jokes, and then marks it with, oh, I'm just joking. He's one of those people who make kind of mean comments but say, oh, I'm just joking. Okay, he said that he's a medical equipment salesperson or whatever, but he's usually around people who do physical, like what they call the name, plastic surgery and stuff, right? So he's around people who are very vain all the time, and that he wants to move away from that. That's why he's on a show called Love is Blind, where you can get engaged without seeing the person, right? But this guy is as vain as they come. When they meet, he will say, what's wrong with you? Why are you here? Now, I can take that one as a joke, but there's something about his delivery that just wasn't it for me, okay? It was just giving, this guy is a mean person and he's just trying to play it off with jokes, right? So he made such comments, and then when Lauren especially told him that she was 30, even though she's 31 now, but then she was 30, when she told him she was 30, he said,
I'm 32.
Okay.
How old are you?
I'm 30.
Okay. So you're no longer attractive.
Oh my God.
I was like, what is wrong with you? Are you okay? Are you okay? And I was surprised that she did not even, yes, when he first said it, she was taken aback. But she didn't end it though. She continued with him. She even said it that, is this the date that I'm going to walk out on? But she still stayed and listened to him.
Should this be the first date that I walk out on? It might have to be.
I'm joking.
Now, when it comes to their vibes, right, I feel like this guy vibed more with Molly. And Molly is the only one that he did not even make all those crass jokes to. Maybe because she was 29, I don't know. But she's the only one that he didn't say all those things to. So I understand her dating him, because the truth is that without some of these things that he did, he sounded reasonable. Okay, without some of the things that he said, he sounded reasonable. So I can understand why Molly was still dating him, but I don't understand why Lauren, who is a school teacher, who seemed like such a peaceful, nice person, even though she's not like so nice, she has a touch of baddie somewhere there, right? As much as that is true, I don't see why she was still with him, right? And then also, this guy keeps talking about his sister, whether his sister will approve that his sister did not want him to come on the show because she said that none of the ladies are going to be good enough for him. I was like, first of all, she hasn't even met the ladies. And then number two, who do you think your brother is? Like, you think your brother is such a catch, he's such a what? Because the brother was saying that, oh, in real life, you know, he gets girls easily and all of that, but because he wants to go away from being vain, whatever. Anyway, But that comment just did not make sense to me. And him even saying it out loud was just giving, this one does not have sense, right? And what is even worse is that the person he told it to, which is Lauren, was like, okay, so how, she didn't even say, no, what do you, like, she was like, oh, how do I impress your sister? Tell me what to say to her so that she'll be impressed. I was like, girl, stand up, dust your slippers, close your book and get out of there. Why are you entertaining this much bullshit? Like, once you see red flags, there is no point entertaining it to that extent, okay? Because I don't know what is going to happen later on. I mean, they finally got engaged. I'll get into that. I don't know what is going to happen later on for sure, but I can tell that this guy is not going to be good for her, okay? Anyway, so this guy will have a date with Molly and assure Molly that she is his number one, and then that he's going to even break up with his other date, which is Lauren, and then he'll go to Lauren and tell Lauren that she is his own number one, right? So at some point, Molly did not know that Lauren was his other date. She thought it was Sara. So she was now saying in the lounge that David is her number one. And the moment she said that, Lauren was just uncomfortable, carrying face, giving attitudes, removing herself. It was giving drama. And I was just asking myself, like, why are you having this visceral reaction to the fact that he's dating this lady? Like, you guys know the premise of the show, right? You're going to date each other till you now zone in and focus on one person, right? So why was she so upset and almost like giving Molly weird energy because of it, right? Now, Molly says she has never been in a relationship before, like ever. So she was giving less pressure to David, okay? She was like, whatever you choose, I'm just going to give you the opportunity to make your choice. If you choose me, fine. If you don't choose me, that's okay. Whatever you choose is fine. I don't want to push or try to pressure you into making any decision. Meanwhile, Laura was more like the choose. Let me know so I can remove myself. Let me know. And as such things make people want to lock in even more than they might have without the pressure, okay? Another thing that happened is that this Dave of a guy said that he had cheated in a previous relationship, and I was like, starter pack for people that do nonsense on Love is Blind. Cheated in a previous relationship, check. Making mean comments and laughing it off as a joke, check. Being very self-absorbed, check. Lying, check. I was just like, why is anybody still giving this guy attention? But when he told Molly was like, well, in her own case, she had cheated with somebody. That is, someone else had cheated on his girlfriend with her. And basically she's remorseful as well, because he was saying that he never wants to do that again. Anyway, long story short, when Lauren confronted him about who his number one is, he basically backtracked and said, oh, he did not assure Molly that she is his number one, even though I heard him say it. But he said he did not say it, that basically he's going to break things off with her and he will focus on Lauren. So which is what he did eventually. He broke things off with Molly. Molly was really sad, even though with him she was familiar, it's okay. But when she went to the lounge, she actually cried. I felt bad for her a little bit. Hard girl, they cry. So she then left, and then it was now Lauren and him, and he proposed to Lauren, right? So when they even met, their meeting was okay. They looked like they were both okay with each other physically, but I was sensing a little bit of awkwardness between them. Maybe it's just me. I was sensing a little bit of awkwardness between them, but they are engaged and it seems they're going to have some drama. I can't wait, because this first 6 episodes was just tiring, okay? Now, the last but not the least, definitely not the least, because there are 4 people involved. This is the square between Meg, Mason, Madison, and Alex, okay? Now, let's start from Meg and Mason, okay? Before I even get into them, these 4 people, right? It seemed clear to me who should end up with who. Like, it seemed like they were just being in a square for no reason. To me, it seems like 2 people were forcing each other to try and be with each other while they had partners that they naturally just vibed with, okay? So now, Madison was between Mason and Alex. Mason was between Madison and Meg, right? But to me, Mason and Meg were a perfect match, while Alex and Madison were a perfect match as well. So I don't know why they were still trying to string each other along. It just did not make sense, and everything backfired in the end. Madison seems like more of a, I don't know what to call her. Let me not say she's narcissistic, because that word is being thrown around a lot, but she's a bit selfish, and she's kind of person that likes to be center of attention, and she likes to get attention, especially through trauma dumping, okay? Because she said so many things about her past traumas, her past history. Now, don't get me wrong, she actually has a very sad story. Her mother, her stepfather are both drug addicts. So she pretty much raised herself. She has so many traumas here and there. She lost her brother. To be honest, her story is quite sad, but I feel like that is basically all she was talking about. It's almost like anytime they try to, especially her and Alex, right? Anytime they try to be on a lighter mode and talk about something lighter, she will somehow find a way to bring it back to either her brother's death or her mother being a drug addict or this and that. It was just too much for me. Alex said that he used to be bullied a lot growing up because of his looks and all of that, and then now that he now looks better, he's now very conscious of it, and that whenever he's in a room, he looks out for whoever is feeling excluded and he tries to include the person, okay? So keep that in mind while I analyze the rest of the show. Madison also seemed to have dual personalities, okay? When she's with Alex, she's the demure, nice, cutesy, well-mannered, good girlfriend with Alex. But with Mason, they were very flirty with each other. They talked a lot about sex and they used a lot of sexual innuendos while conversing with each other, right? But she did not have that same kind of conversations with Alex, okay? So the relationship between her and Mason felt very sexual in nature, and that is why I was like, what is the point of you guys forcing yourself to have this triangle where there is none? Because aside their flirtatious nature, they didn't really have that much in common. Mason had more in common with Meg than he had with Madison. And also when it comes to age, Mason is 33, Meg is 31, while Alex is 29 and Madison is 28. So just follow your age mates. Everybody follow your age mates. But anyway, when it comes to Meg and Mason, they vibe really well. They have some weird, odd beliefs in things like aliens and stuff. They are both not religious people. They both believe in all this weird stuff. So to me, they vibed more. But it seemed like Mason was trying hard to basically keep both things floating at the same time, which blew up in his face, because when he went to meet with Madison pretty much twisted his arm till he admitted, or till he pledged allegiance. What's the word now? Pledged commitment towards her, because she was talking about, oh, I know your other date, you're not being forthcoming with me, you're not being decisive, like I need you to choose, that kind of thing. She tried to make him choose, and then he chose her, only for her to now be like, ew. That's what it felt like. It felt like she twisted his arm till he chose her, and then she was not like, I'm sorry, I'm not really into all of this, okay? So I don't understand that part. And again, I feel like they should even try and stop people in the pods from talking about any other relationship in the pods. I know it helps with the drama of it all, but I feel like whenever they start bringing up, even in other cases, whenever they bring up, whatever triangle they are in, that's whoever is at the head of the triangle, I feel like it tends to skew their decision towards whoever brings it up. Anyway, basically, after Mason chose to commit himself to Madison decides to go for Alex, and they become boyfriend and girlfriend. Now, Mason now tries to fall back on Meg, and Meg is like, nah, now I know that your other person left you high and dry. I can't tell now whether I was your number one or not. I'm sure she knew she wasn't actually his number one, even though when it comes to their vibes, they vibe more together. She wasn't his number one, because let me not lie, Meg talks too much, okay? She's kind of person that dominates conversations. At some point, I was like, will you allow the guy talk? He will talk once, she will talk 20. It's almost like she just goes on and on. She likes to hear the sound of her own voice. She just goes on and on and on and on and on. And that's to say like me, right? No, she just kept going on and on and on in a conversation that is very annoying. And how do you get to know the other person when you're talking about yourself and just any small topic he brings up, you would collect the whole thing and dissect the whole thing and end the conversation by yourself. Like, to me, she was kind of annoying. So I can understand why he was skewing more towards Madison, even though Meg was more his type when it comes to the substance of what, of who they are, right? Yeah, Meg now says, as much as I like you, I'm sorry, but I cannot go for you, because now that I know that Madison basically dumped you, I feel like a second choice. And I respect that, okay? I like the fact that she didn't just, like Brittany, was it Brittany in the last season? Yeah, Brittany just followed the Rolex guy. This one, she was like, nah, I need you to pick me first. I need someone that's going to choose me and pick me first. So that's how Meg did not end up with Mason. Neither did he end up with Madison. Now, when it comes to Madison and Alex, Madison says that her attachment style is avoidant, and Alex says that his attachment style is anxious, right? Now, if you guys know anything about attachment styles, an anxious attachment style and an avoidant attachment style, they will always have issues, because this one will be pursuing and this one will be running, okay? So basically, when she said that was the beginning of the end for them as well. He just couldn't get past it. She would try to assuage his fears and try to reassure him that she's not going to run away from him, she's going to fight for their love. But still, I could just tell that he wasn't really feeling it again that much. He said he had dated avoidant people in the past and it wasn't pleasant for him, so he was struggling with the idea of actually going with her. But even at that, they still became boyfriend and girlfriend in the pods. And then after she ended things with Mason, she came and was telling him about it, and he was like, yes, I understand that you felt some type of way. Because, okay, now when she was breaking up with Mason told her that when he committed himself to her, that he regretted it because he didn't feel genuine about it. He felt like it wasn't true. So basically, he was trying to take it back that he didn't really commit himself to her. And she was offended at that. I'm like, why are you offended? You've gotten your own prize. Now, why are you offended? But anyway, she was offended at that. And she was trying to tell Alex that he took it back after telling me he's committed to me. So it means that he was just lying, or he didn't really mean it and stuff like that, right? Alex, on the other hand, like I said, the person that said he tries to include the other person that he feels is left out, right? Alex was trying to say things as well from Mason's point of view, because he's saying that Mason told him that Madison revealed, because yes, in the pod, in the lounge, Madison told Meg about this guy committing himself to her and how he's trying to play them and stuff like that. Basically, she interfered with the whole thing, which I don't like. Okay, let things play out the way they will play out. Don't go there and you are spoiling another person's own when you already have your own. Like, why do you care about whether he's playing you or not? Let things play out the way they will play out, okay? So anyway, because of that, and that was part of why Meg even did not go ahead with Mason, right? So Alex was trying to say that he understands where Mason is coming from. Mason was not really certain who he was going for. He was basically just trying to be sure, and Madison kind of forced things along. Now, he wasn't totally against her, but saying that he feels like Mason was 100% valid in his feelings, right? If you say 100% valid, that means you are invalidating to some extent her feelings, because both feelings clash. So if both feelings are clashing, you cannot say you validate one person 100% and the other person 100%. It doesn't work like that. Madison got offended at that, and she kind of closed off and was like, she doesn't want to have that conversation again. And then Alex was like, okay, let's try and get past it. But she couldn't get past it that quickly. And then he now kind of started shutting down the game. Basically, that was how they both did not end up with each other at the end of the day. So I was just like, okay, so what was not the reason? What was the reason? At the end of the day, Madison did not end up with Mason. Mason did not end up with Meg. Meg did not end up with anybody. Alex did not end up with Madison. So what was the reason? People just could have just focused on your number one person and just let things go, okay? Anyway, that was where we stopped for the first 6 episodes. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Did you watch it? To be honest, it was exhausting to watch. I struggled. This video should have been up on Friday, because I woke up in the morning, did my makeup, sat down ready to watch and analyze for you guys, and I just couldn't keep my eyes open. I had to go and wash off my makeup and then try to watch it over time. But anyway, again, share your thoughts in the comment section and I'll see you all in my next video. Bye guys.
Yes, we'll see. I'm 32.
Okay.
How
got
old are
it.
you?
I'm 30.
Okay. So you're no longer attractive.
Oh my God. Should this be the first date that I walk out on? It might have to be.
I'm joking. I have my own only